Hey, and welcome back to Breadcrumbs for Life. This is Frances. We are talking about everyday challenges and how small intentional choices or breadcrumbs can lead to a life of peace and purpose and progress. Today's episode is called Where Financial Freedom Begins. We're going to talk about finances today. It's Friday, and we're talking about something that's not a budgeting tool or income levels. It's something smaller than that. So I am not one that can tell you, how to invest your money or how to use Quicken or anything like that. But I can tell you some things that have worked for me and some things I'm still progressing and working on and building better habits about. And that's where I believe financial freedom begins. And it's something that's kind of small. It's a little quiet. It's often overlooked. But it's what happens in the space between the urge to spend and then the moment that you actually make the decision. And that's what I call the pause. And so many times I don't do the pause. I just click and buy and then, spend money that I should have kept or saved or done something else with. But the moment that I'm talking about is the pause. And I believe that's where financial freedom begins. It's that little moment where something in you says, should I really do this? Do I really need to buy this? Will this help me or hurt me later? And we don't talk about it often, but that space right there, that's where financial freedom begins. Not when you hit a savings goal or when your debt is gone, but when you stop reacting and start responding with intention. And I know that a lot of times I have used, especially, they make it so easy for you to buy stuff now. I've used my cart to just store things in to practice my pause. And you may do that too, or make a wish list or something like that if you really feel like you need, another purse, or if you need to buy something for your home that you've been doing fine without. Put it over in your cart or put it on your wish list or save it for later, because that has helped me so much to keep from spending, because so many times I've ignored that small voice that said just wait. And that small decision set off a chain reaction, and I just really messed up my budget for weeks. And it wasn't really about the money, but it was about the fact that I didn't have that self-control. And to me, the self-control is what brings the financial freedom. And you find that self-control in the pause, waiting, and saying, I'm going to take control of this situation. I really need to think about this purchase before I actually make it. And there's some people that are really great at that, and I envy those people that can just say, hey, I'd like to buy a new car, but I'm going to just really think about the car I have now, the kind of cars that are out there, and it takes them months to decide if they want to buy a car or not. And me, I'm like, okay, I'm online, here's one, and I get my son to take me, and I buy it in that day. And I do whatever it takes to get that financed so that I can finance it for the maximum amount and have the lowest car payment ever. And then I'm done, and then I think, okay, now I got this extra car payment. Where am I going to fit this into my budget? And I know that's not at all what we're supposed to do, but that's just an example of how I used to be. I'm practicing my pause now. I'm practicing my self-control, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. Freedom with money doesn't show up all at once. It doesn't announce itself with big wins. It shows up slowly. It shows up in the restraint, in the pause, in the self-control, in the ability to wait, to think, and to decide based on what matters most. It's not always easy, especially when spending feels like a relief or a reward or even an escape. But in that moment of pause, you're strengthening something that goes far beyond finances. You're choosing growth over guilt. And I can definitely tell you about experiences there. You're experiencing peace over pressure and wisdom over impulse. So what can you do with that today? I really believe it's important because you think, well, how can I have freedom if I can't buy what I want? But you're going to have freedom later. You're going to be able to, your future self will be thanking you for waiting, for having self-control now. So 20 years later, you've got more in your savings, or you've got enough money to buy a car without financing it. There's so many great things that freedom-wise that can come from self-control, from the pause. So here's a couple of things. Practice the pause before any purchase that you make, big or small. When you want to order that takeout food to be delivered, that's $40 or $50. Before any purchase, practice the pause and stop and ask, is this aligned with my goals or my feelings right now? And that one question can give you clarity. If it's not aligned with something you're wanting to buy later on that's a big ticket item, you might can say, well, I think I'll take this $50 and just tuck it away for what I want later on. The second thing after you practice the pause is don't shame yourself. You've been spending impulsively and you've done it in the past. You may have done it today, but you're not broken. You're still learning. And the pause is not about perfection. It's about progress. And you can do it. You can make that progress. And then choose a new habit in small ways. Maybe today the win is putting one item back, moving one item to save for later. Maybe it's looking at your account instead of avoiding it. Maybe it's waiting 24 hours before clicking buy now. These choices may feel small, but they build a kind of strength that does not fade. I really hope this reminder helps you to slow down, not just to save money, but to feel empowered again, to have that sense of control over your finances so your finances don't control you. Because the next breakthrough might not come from earning more. It might come from pausing in the right moment and choosing differently and just having a better sense about who you are and being proud that you had that self-control and that you did pause and that you did choose not to buy that. So thanks for being here with me today, and until next time, keep following the breadcrumbs. The next step matters, especially the quiet ones, especially the pause.